Let's get started with our first news. Charles Oliveira is unfazed by Ilia Topuaria's trash talk. The two are set to fight at UFC 317 for the vacant lightweight title. Recently, Topuaria posted training footage to his social media and told Oliveira to not forget to bring his pillow. But Oliveira says when he sees comments like that, he just laughs. In an interview with MMAfighting.com, Oliveira said, "I don't like to talk about it because everything we say becomes noise. But I think we're past that already, right? It's been 15 years in the UFC. I was just a kid when I first went in there. Everything I say has meaning, right? I'm just a kid among the lions, and now I feel like a lion among the lions. A different lion, a bad lion. Back then, when they thought I was better than them, they said something thinking it would get in my head, and I had a team by my side. The last one said, 'Charles quits,' and I went in there and ran him over. Charles has no hands. I went in there and knocked him out. Charles this and that. I went in there and got it done. So many crazy things. If the idea is to keep talking and wondering if they will get in my head, man, I see that and just laugh. You know, these are just so irrelevant that while they talk, I'm training. I'm dedicating, you know me. I'm not the type of guy that has to keep posting, that has to keep talking. I know what I have to do. The fight is on the 28th, so I have to stay focused and ready. I know what I have to do. I have 2 weeks to make it happen. I just have to stay happy, close to the people I love, and training and dedicated. I don't know how to do that, to talk like that. I don't know how to sell a fight like that. It's not my way of promoting, so let me make the money I'm making, because that's the only way I know how to do it. When the cage closes, I know what I have to do. Walk forward, land my hands, and in the end, what matters the most, have my hand raised." Moving on to our second story, Islam Makhachevs coach Javier Mendez is setting the record straight after recent headlines suggested that Islam may retire after just 3 more fights. According to Javier, his original comments were taken completely out of context, and he now wants to clarify what he actually meant. He insists that while he did say maybe 3 more fights, it was merely speculation on his part, not something Islam said directly. In a recent interview, Javier explained, "People are taking it out of context. I said maybe he fights 3 more times. Not in those exact words did I say that, but I never claimed Islam said it. I was thinking out loud." Javier went on to elaborate that his assumptions were based on past statements from Khabib Nurmagomedov's father, who believed that 35 was the ideal age for a fighter to retire. Given Islam's close connection to Khabib and his late father, Javier assumed Islam might be thinking the same way. He continued, "So I assumed Islam would probably be considering retirement around that particular age. That's where the 3 fights idea came from. So I was thinking, okay, maybe 1 more fight this year. Hopefully we get that fight soon. Then maybe 2 more fights next year, or maybe only 1. You know how things go with injuries and schedules." But Mendez also emphasized that this is not a concrete plan. "I said maybe 3, he repeated. "Realistically, he could have 6, 7, 8 more fights. It all depends on what Islam wants. It's not about what coach wants. He's the driver, not me." The confusion quickly gained traction online, with some media outlets and fans taking his comments as a definitive retirement timeline. Even Daniel Cormier, Javier's longtime colleague, made a video discussing the topic, referencing Islam's age and the typical retirement path. However, Javier praised DC for doing a good job of clarifying the nuance behind the statement. People were asking, "Why are you saying he's retiring?" And I had to say, "No, I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking, maybe." Again, this is not Islam talking. This is me. I don't know for sure. I didn't discuss it with him or make any plans. I just assumed. It could be 3 fights. It could be 6. It could be 10. Nobody knows. Let's move on to another news story. New details have emerged regarding Conor McGregor's recent altercation at a nightclub in Ibiza earlier this week. For those who missed it, The Sun released footage that quickly went viral, showing McGregor inside the club where he appeared to sucker punch a man twice without any clear provocation. The footage caused a massive stir across social media, with fans and critics alike questioning what led to such an incident and whether legal consequences would follow. An Ibiza-based entrepreneur named Wayne Elker, who was present at the nightclub during the altercation, has come forward with some insight into what really happened. Elker identified the man McGregor struck as Joe Gomez, a former employee of his who had worked at another nightclub. According to Elker, Gomez did absolutely nothing to provoke McGregor and was completely blindsided by the punches. In a now-deleted Instagram post, Elker defended Gomez and expressed his deep disappointment over the incident. Gomez Gomez is my very close friend who has worked at Ocean for 8 years. He has the most special heart," he wrote. "In all of the years that I've known him, he has never raised his voice once. He took 2 punches from Conor McGregor at Pacha for absolutely no reason. He took the punches like a champion. To say I'm disappointed is an understatement." The post was quickly shared and discussed online before Elker removed it, possibly to avoid further controversy. Another witness, a close friend of Joe Gomez who was also present at the club that night, shared additional details. He explained that, as of right now, Gomez has not mentioned that he will be pressing charges. He said he has worked with Wayne for a long time, and Wayne is very loyal to his staff. Conor had a great deal at Ocean. He got a table and drinks for free. Now that benefit may well be taken away. He also noted the strict control around McGregor's space at the venue, saying, "If you were around Conor in the club and you took your phone out, you'd be told to put it away. I don't know how Joe got that close to begin with." As of now, Joe Gomez has made no formal complaint to police. He already had time off scheduled after the incident, and according to his friend, he's fine physically. "It was obviously a shock," the friend added. "He feels he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time." Moving on now to another headline. Dustin Poirier is not interested in the Max Holloway fight and instead wanted the Justin Gaethje trilogy. With just weeks to go until Poirier steps into the Octagon for what could very well be the final fight of his legendary MMA career, the former interim lightweight champion has made it absolutely clear his true preference was to settle unfinished business with Gaethje, not to take on Holloway. In a recent video shared by Full Violence, Poirier opened up about the situation and didn't hold back. "I chose Justin," he said firmly. "The UFC wanted Max for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because he had the BMF belt. They seemed really high on this matchup. It's clear that Poirier wanted the Gaethje trilogy, a matchup that would have been the 3rd war in what has been a brutal and unforgettable rivalry. Their first 2 fights were instant classics, known for their violence, intensity, and mutual respect. Fans had been hoping for a 3rd and final chapter, something to cap off one of the most entertaining rivalries in recent UFC history. Still, Poirier isn't dismissing Holloway. In fact, he's fully aware of the poetic nature of this fight. "He was my first fight in the UFC, his debut," Poirier shared, "and now he's my last fight. He's a guy I respect a lot, so it's still an important fight for me." There's a sense of closure in facing Holloway again, not just for Poirier, but for fans who followed both careers for over a decade. "I said legends only, and Max is definitely that," Poirier added, reaffirming his admiration for the former featherweight champion. Recognizing how monumental this event is, Poirier is making sure it leaves a lasting memory. He recently revealed that Lil Wayne will be walking him out to the Octagon on July 19th. That's right, one of the most legendary rappers of all time, known for his influence across music and culture, will accompany one of MMA's most respected veterans for his final walk. "As of right now," Poirier said, "his guy Mind said he's in. We're still a good ways out, so we'll see. But as of now, yes." This fight may not be the trilogy Poirier wanted, but with Holloway standing across from him and Lil Wayne by his side, he's making sure to go out in true legendary fashion. Now let's get into another story. MERAB Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov ran into each other at the UFC Baku hotel, and while nothing major went down, the encounter certainly got fans talking. These are 2 of the top rising forces in the bantamweight division, both undefeated in recent years, and both are in the conversation for a future title shot, so anytime they cross paths, it's bound to stir some attention. The clip making rounds on social media shows MERAB casually taking pictures with Rafael Fiziev near the hotel entrance. As MERAB wraps up and starts walking back to his car, the camera shifts to show Umar just a few feet away, also engaging with fans and taking selfies. It wasn't a direct confrontation, but their proximity to one another, along with the circumstances, created a buzz online. After all, when 2 elite contenders are spotted in the same space, people immediately start wondering, was something brewing? What made the moment even more intense was the crowd's reaction. While Umar was mingling with fans, MERAB's supporters started chanting his name loudly. The energy shifted quickly. You could feel a sense of competition in the air, even if no words were exchanged. This wasn't your typical cordial hotel encounter between fighters. It felt like a preview of something bigger on the horizon. Both fighters kept it professional, but fans online couldn't help but speculate. Was there tension behind those calm faces? Are we looking at a future showdown? These 2 have never shared the the cage before, but stylistically, it's a clash many would love to see. MERAB is known for his relentless pace and unmatched cardio, while Umar, a cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov, brings in an elite blend of grappling, striking, and fight IQ. A matchup between the two would be nothing short of electric. For now, it was just a brief encounter in a hotel lobby, but in the world of MMA, even the smallest moments can ignite something much bigger. Whether it was coincidence or fate that brought MERAB and Umar face to face in Baku, one thing's for sure, the fans noticed. And now, the idea of these two warriors eventually colliding doesn't seem so far-fetched. And finally, let's wrap things up with another major headline that has left the MMA community divided. Jon Jones is not interested in a Tom Aspenol fight. That's right, despite fans clamoring for what could have been one of the most anticipated heavyweight matchups in recent years, it looks like Jones versus Aspenol is officially off the table. This news came as a major blow, especially after weeks of speculation and hope that the UFC would make the fight happen. In a recent interview with Joe Rogan, UFC President Dana White gave an important update, stating, "If we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly. We'll have answers in the next couple of weeks." That sounded like negotiations were at least on the table, but now, with Jon Jones publicly speaking out, it seems the fight may never come to life. During an interview with Kyle from the Nelk Boys, Jones made it clear that he has no interest in facing Tom Aspenol. While he praised Aspinall's skill set and potential, he also dismissed the idea that the British contender brings enough excitement to the table. Jones said, "I think he's awesome, man. I think he should go on and have a wonderful career, but he's not in the position to excite me, because if I whoop him, it's just going to be the next guy. There's always going to be someone new who everybody believes in." He continued by reflecting on his long-standing career and the repeated patterns he's witnessed. "I've done this my whole adult life. I remember Rampage fans, Rashad fans, Lyoto fans. It's the same story again and again. I've replayed this narrative so many times already." But what truly hit fans hard was Jones's admission that he's not even motivated to fight anyone right now. "I don't want to say I'm retired because fighting is in my blood," Jones explained. "But right now, I could really care less about fighting. I've been doing this at a high level for so long, and if the edge comes back, if it does, I'll return with everything I've got. But right now, I see what's real. I feel what I give to people. That's my role now, to inspire, to connect. I've punched and kicked enough people." It's a huge letdown for UFC fans. First, we lost the chance to see Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, and now, the most hyped heavyweight clash between Jones and Aspinall is off the table too. Whether Jones eventually regains that fire or walks away forever remains to be seen. What are your thoughts on the situation? Drop them in the comments below.